Who is ready for a celebration video? Because we are going to talk about all the Shoujosei licenses that we got so far in 2026. Hello friends, happy Friday. So very excited that you're here. I am hyped for this video. Originally, this video came to mind, or I was inspired to do it because I was like, sometimes throughout the year, it can be really discouraging when you're not seeing any Shoujosei licenses and you're like, did we even get anything? It's really easy to forget those really big wins that we did get throughout the year. And so I thought, you know what? Let's do this. I asked my Patreon channel members, I was like, hey, would you rather see a video covering all of the manga licenses we've gotten so far, again, for Shoujosei, or would you rather see my top 5 and then I'll just do a graphic of it? I might do a graphic this time of filming. I really don't know just yet. I had so much fun making the graphics for this video. And so the one that got the most votes was this video here. So shout out to them. I am very thankful because I truly had a blast seeing everything that we got. So a few things I do want to say. One thing that this video is not, I am not going to go into descriptions about any of these titles. Now I might say I will be giving commentary about some of the titles I'm personally very excited about, but I don't plan to say, okay, this is what this book is about, because there is a lot and I don't want that to be this. I will leave a link though down below to a non-fancy version of the notes that I took for this video in terms of, hey, here's a spreadsheet tracking everything from all of the different publishers. And I will say I do apologize if I have missed anything. I did this to the best of my ability, the best that I had the information on hand. I did try and cross-check it at least in 3 different places. So hopefully everything is 100% accurate. One thing I do hope that this video does bring is just an awareness of, hey, we've gotten some really big wins, which I feel this video is a little bit, I don't know how to finish that sentence, but at the time when this video was inspired, we had not really gotten any license wins, and then May came around, aka Yen Press in Canada, yes, giving us basically, I think it was all Shoujosei licenses but one, which was absolutely surreal. And then even just last Friday, we talked about my manga news video of how I got 2 license wins. We had 2 different publishers do announcements, but I really hope that just for anybody who watches this video in the future or comes back to it, that they can see and be like, we got a lot more than I initially realized. So let's go ahead and dive into our Shoujosei check-in, celebrating license wins of 2026 so far. Y'all, it was truly a big year. We had over 50 licenses of Shoujosei manga alone. There's no light novels, no manhwas. This does include print club titles from Kodansha, as well as any publisher that had a digital first series and then it went physical. I wanted to make sure that those were highlighted because it's always a really big thing when we see those digital only series get physically printed. Crazy enough, we had 10 plus publishers this year who are saying, hey, we want to see more shoujo for shoujo fans. We actually had 15 publishers, and I forgot to say the specific number for the licenses. It was 51 different licenses that are Shoujosei. And then I have 15 publishers who are investing in shoujo and giving us more. I really feel like this begs the question, is this our strongest year of shoujo manga yet? I have tracked licenses for the past, I think, 3 years. I think this will be my 3rd year, and I really feel when we look at the numbers and we see what publishers are giving us, this year really feels the strongest. And if you're curious of what those numbers are this year, here is the chart that I did, and you can see right off the bat, Yen Press and Kodansha are leading the way, though it is interesting. I would like to note that with Kodansha, if we only said the actual new licenses that were not print club licenses or had a digital first, we technically only had 2, but I felt it was important to capture those print club licenses because that was a major big deal, especially since they seem to be putting more momentum into the print club and just giving us more. Yen Press, outside of one that it wasn't even digital from them, everything else is brand new. Everything else is brand new. Shojo Beat and 7 Seas are coming in with 4. 7 Seas, man, that one, I know a lot of people talk about Shojo Beat and not having as much, but man, 7 Seas, when you compare it to the previous years, whew, it hurts. It hurts that we've only had 4 so far this year. Cross Hearts was a new publisher that formed last year, so probably not going to see a lot just yet. They did give us 2. TokyoPop, Square Enix, Titan, and Kana all had 3, which was really exciting. I mean, especially seeing Titan up there, that was very shocking, honestly. And then J-Novel, I forgot to mention, but Cross Hearts had 2. Technically, they did not give us any new Shoujosei manga licenses, but the 2 that they have are going to be physically printed, which is awesome. And I did want to make a note at the bottom. We did have other notable publishers who did give us at least 1 license license, but I didn't want to put them on this chart, and that was Manga Mavericks, Kodama Tales, Glacier Bay Books, Uncivilized, and Aloha Comics. Don't worry, we're going to go in and we're going to see all individually by each publisher what the licenses are that they gave us, including the ones that just gave us one each. And so I guess let's go ahead and jump right in. I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention about this, and I just really think the numbers are very fascinating, especially when we see Yen Press just absolutely trailblazing. I truly hope that that continues, that they will just continue to deliver. That would be very, oh, I know what the other one was, is how I did the organization of this chart and just the overall graphics is who gave us the first licenses. So Kodansha was the first person, and I believe they have been the past 2 years, or at least I know last year, they're the first publisher to give us the first license of the year. It was awesome. We will mention that in just a moment. And then when we go down, Seven Seas was the second, then Cross Hearts, Yen Press, and so forth. And then, you know, they're just sort of wherever by the middle of the year here. But let's go into, yeah, the Kodansha licenses and see what they gave us this year. They gave us 9 different titles, and the first 2 here, Say Hello to Mr. Wallaby and Rainy Day Serenade, are the 2 brand new licenses. We did not have digital first. They have said, I know they said on their website, I don't know if they said on social media, but they said Rainy Day Serenade is the #1 most requested license that they have ever gotten, which was mind-blowing to me. I feel like maybe Mars has to be like in the top 5, but maybe for like series that they didn't already have, since they do have Mars digitally, and it's surreal that we got Mars in print. But the other titles, well, though Secondhand Sisters, maybe we could say there's 3 brand new licenses, even though Secondhand Sisters is under the print club. We did not have this one digitally beforehand, but for some reason they decided to put it with the print club. But because I True Sane, I know that's ongoing. Kiss with the Cats completed, I believe. Don't Tempt Me VPs completed. I'm not sure about the Tokyo Girls series. I'm not sure about those. Killing Line, though, is completed, just wrapped up, I believe, this year or the end of last year. True Sane, I believe, has 2 volumes out physically. Don't Tempt Me VP supposedly has 4. Kiss with the Cat is completed. Killing Line, I think we're like on volume 3 or 4. Secondhand Sisters, we've only gotten 1 volume out, and the Tokyo Girls, I think we've only gotten 2 or 3 volumes out. I really hope that as the year goes on that Kodansha will improve in terms of giving us information about when the print club titles are out. I would love to see more of that, honestly. In fact, if you saw, or if you follow me on Twitter, I updated my release calendar to say, hey, I saw Kodansha updated theirs. I'm also updating mine because it's just so hard to keep track of those, you know what I mean? But let's go into Seven Seas, the one that hurt the most. It really did. I should have done a graph comparing how it's been in years past to how it is now. We have gotten double the amount because right now we only have 4. Now, don't get me wrong. Your Meteor, Hidden Flowers, that was a huge win. There were so many people that were just blowing up about how big of a win this was, and I was so very excited for several friends who, I think probably Anime Tokens, I believe is her handle. She's here on YouTube. I love her channel. Check it out. She did a whole video just showing, I believe, all of the merch she has and just the excitement. If she didn't do that in the video, I know the thumbnail had it. I was very, very excited for her. Good morning, good night, and see you tomorrow is a Mint Manga, or part of the Mint Manga program. Very excited for that. I will admit, when I was working on this, I completely forgot we got Working as a Goddess in Another World. I said, we did get that, didn't we? I had no memory of that one. Same with No No's Phantom Shop. I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. It's just been a very odd year, I feel like, when they gave us such big wins. What, last year and the previous year, like we have Glasses, we have the Pretty Face manga. Those are the 2 that are really coming to mind right now, but I just feel like it's a lot bigger titles than just 4. So hopefully we will see more from them, including at AX, which is in about 2 weeks. The next publisher is Crossed Hearts, and I have really been excited to see all the amazing things they're doing, even if they're like posting things they probably should not be saying on social media. But they gave us 2 different licenses, and I do have both the volume 1s of these series on pre-order. The first one is The Matchmaker's Fiancé, and the second one is All-Rounder Maid Connie Will. The Matchmaker's Fiancé, I forget who the creator is, but she has other work, like her light novels have been published by Cross Infinite. She is a strawberry manga that I would love to read, and so when I saw that we were getting one of her manga, I said I have to support her just so publishers know I want more of her work in English. So I'm very excited to see more of what they are going to be bringing us, because they've been giving us a lot of great manhwa, so hopefully that will continue when it comes to the Shoujosei manga. But Yen Press, Oh my goodness. Yen Press has been cooking. They are unstoppable, coming in with 13 different licenses that they have given us just in the first half of 2026. I really, really hope that this will continue for the second half. I can't believe it. I mean, just last week, they gave us Yamada's Class Diary, one of my personal wins, and I was so mind blown. Not only that, but I do want to mention Gust and Beats. That was one of the series available digitally first on Manga Plus. Everybody was shocked when we saw Yen Press had said, hey, we got that. We got that. Not Shoujo Beat, we got that. I mean, it was, y'all, that con that actually had Gust and Beats, that's the one in May. That was the life-changing May when it comes to publishers. So we got Gust and Beats, Studio Cabana, Sinful as the Angel Who Loves, and not mentioned, since I'm not doing light novels and manhwa, but Honey Lemon Soda, the novel. I mean, literally everything from them I've pretty much wanted is definitely from that licensing announcement specifically. But honestly, looking at everything here, there's probably maybe like 2 or 3 that I'm not planning to get, but like I'm wanting to try out the Bubble Love of the Mermaid, Hand in Hand with Muchan, In Such a Small World, that's by the same creator as Fruits Basket, Tale of the Wizrain Kingdom. There's just so many great things, and I've just seen so many people very, very excited for what Yen is doing. I really feel like if we were to think of a publisher who is listening to their fans, Yen Press would be number 1. I'd say Kodansha is a quick second though, because we cannot forget about what they did for us last year, okay? We can't forget what they did at Anime Expo. I don't know if they could do another thing like that this year at AX. I mean, I would love to see it though. I would love to see it. If Kodansha want to do it, please do. Please do. I ain't gonna say no. But I really feel like Yen Press is delivering series that people have been begging for, they've been asking, they've been requesting, and Yen Press is saying, we listening. We are listening, and I'm truly, absolutely loving it so much. My wallet, no. No, it ain't. But me as a person, yes, I am. Me as a manga fan, I'm very, very happy. I mean, these are, I feel like, most of these, I feel like, are shorter series, like In Such a Small World, 2 volumes. The Record of Fantastical Nomenclature, that's 2 volumes and complete. Yamada's Class Diary is complete at 4 volume. I think the Purple Clavel is complete at 3 volumes, and really, I'm really excited. I mentioned I was excited because it truly is like, thank you so much, Yen, for everything that you are doing. People are taking note, and we're very excited, and I just hope that they continue to deliver. And same with this next publisher of TokyoPop. They gave us 3 different licenses. I mean, I know they've been focusing on a lot of BL, but as you can see here, they did give us at least 3 Shoujosei series. I think these are actually all Josei series, like 365 Days and Beneath the Falling Blooms. I believe those? No, Your Mine. I think all of these are Josei series. Your Mine is complete at 3 volumes. I don't know about the other ones. I know the Beneath the Falling Blooms, we did just get that, I think last month in English, I believe, or no, this month it just came out. So hopefully they will continue to give us some more shoujo. There's been a lot of speculation about them as a company in terms of how are they doing when it comes to funding. Are they going to be able to provide us for more shoujosei? I hope that they do. I hope that they're going to be okay, because I overall have really liked what they have given us. Like Mafia Dating Sim, yes, I've absolutely loved that. They also gave us The Person I Love asked me to, how do you finish that title? I will put it right here. But that one, and it's getting anime as well. So they've got some really big series, and I'm just like, please continue to keep giving us more. Next up is J Novel, and as I mentioned before, they only gave us 2, and technically they were digital only series, but again, if you follow them, you know it's very, very rare for J Novel to physically print any of their series. But here are the 2 that they gave us: The 100 Times, The Charm, and Safe and Sound in the Arms of an Elite Knight. I do have volume 1 pre-ordered of The 100 Times, The Charm. We also do have an anime coming. We haven't got any more news or updates about it, but it is coming. That's why it went on my radar originally. I am very, very excited. That one I think is complete at 5 or 6 volumes. I think the final volume just ended. Safe and Sound, I have read volume 1 digitally because I believe it's 99 cents, and it was cute. I don't know if I'd buy it physically, but I'm very, very happy that they are printing some of their Shoujosei titles, and I really hope that AX, that they're going to say, hey, we have even more. Like, yes, one of my titles on my license wish list, they could give me a win if they could just print it. If they could just print it, because I would double dip on that series because that's how much I loved it. So I'm very excited to see that they're branching out, I guess you would say, and be like, hey, if people want physical, we will give them physical. Square Enix, I feel they are another publisher, because we're going to go into them. I feel like they're another publisher that really is listening to their fans as well, because they have very few licenses. As you can see here, we only have 3 from them so far, but I feel like they give such good licenses. They feel really meaningful to me. They feel like titles that people have been asking asking for me. The Princess Groom was one of my license wins. Shout out to my friend Being Queenie who put me on game for that series. It was really good. I'm very excited. I have volume 1 on pre-order, same as Yang Can't Live Alone. I tried the preview of that one because it's on Manga Up. I think all of these are on Manga Up. And I was like, this is really good. And so I went ahead and bought that as well. My ex-boyfriend loves Boys Love. I'm not familiar with this series, but y'all, I really love what they did with the font text here, or like the title. Not a huge fan of Yang Can't Live Alone. I don't feel like it's quite as exciting as The Princess Groom and Ex-Boyfriend, but all the covers are really good. And again, I really feel like Square Enix, they may deliver very few, but the ones they get are very good, and they know, I feel like they know what their audience is looking for, and ones that they know will really connect with their fans, and I'm truly very, very thankful for that. Like, yes, they are one of the publishers, and I even put on Twitter when I responded when I found the editor was going to be there giving announcements, is I said, hey, I'm very excited. I feel like you guys consistently deliver all the time, and there's been very few license announcements that they have given. And I'm like, oh, this wasn't, I've never thought that this wasn't good, but where I don't feel quite as excited of like, oh my goodness, because when I find out that they've dropped the licenses, I go and immediately look because I'm like, I know there'll be at least one that I'm very, very excited about. And thankfully, even though Shojo Beat, because we're gonna talk about some Shojo Beat, it has been smaller. This is not new to the community. There's definitely a lot of talk online about how several people feel that Shojo Beat, it's really not good right now. It's compared to what they used to be and how they are now, it just doesn't seem to be the same blooming and overarching publisher that really was leading the way, I guess you would say. Now, if you look at their licenses here, I don't think that they're bad. They are definitely on the shorter end though, and You'll Have the Dawn, I mean, I know a lot of people are really upset that we got 3-in-1 edition, but I will still proudly stand behind the words, I'm glad we got it, because there have been several people who have said, I won't buy the singles. If we got a box set, I'd buy it. And then they saw the omnibus, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna get it. So more people reading You'll Have the Dawn, I do not think is a bad thing. Might be an unpopular opinion, but seeing, again, people who have been really excited, they're like, I'm picking it up. I'm like, good, yes, that's awesome, bestie. We're happy. We love to see it. We love to see it. And this is also, Shojo B gave me one of my license wins this past Friday, No Glass Slippers for me. I was so excited. I mean, I was really hoping, since by a creator that they've licensed a bunch of her stuff, Ray Toma, and they've got The King's Beast and The Dawn of the Arcana, that I'm like, surely we can get her anthology works. It's a standalone. I mean, I'm sad that it's just one volume. And then we also got the Love Struck Raven. I mean, that was incredible. Second one of their licenses that they announced this past Friday. Like, yes. And The Seaside, Where Dragon Boys Dwell. I know a lot of people did not like the title of that one. I'm not familiar enough with the series to feel like really upset of how they changed it, but that is definitely one I'm also getting. So You'll Have the Dawn, the 3-in-1. Outside of that one, I'm definitely for sure getting the other one. So even if Shojo Beat is not giving us the same longer series, I do still feel invested in their licenses. I'm not going to say I'm not going to support them anymore, because I'm still liking what they're bringing. And again, I wish it was more like with everybody else. I wish they were giving us, I mean, like, even if it was just like 5 or 6, you know, that'd be really incredible to say, man, they are giving us a lot of shoujo. But I'm thankful for the shoujo that they are giving us, and that, hey, that they seem to, for the most part, they seem to know their targeted audience. Now, this next publisher, Titan Comics, I can't believe it's on this list, honestly. When I was going through everything, I said, yeah, that's right. They gave us 3 different Shoujosei titles, and that is absolutely surreal to me, because I don't feel like they really publish Shoujosei series. It's not a publisher you would think like, oh yeah, they publish Shoujosei. But here, yeah, as you can see, there are 3 different titles. The Legendary Witch is a manga that's published by the same creator as Seventh Time Loop. So if you're a fan of her works, also Mafia Dating Sim, one of my personal favorites. I really love that one. But if you're a fan of that one, as well as Seventh Time Loop, or just this creator's work, then yeah, I feel like this is probably a good one to check out. It does have a trigger warning, so I'm a little bit nervous, because I believe there was child abuse at the very beginning, and I was not prepared for that, and it really triggered me. Anytime I see that kind of abuse, it really upsets me. So I'm a little bit nervous. So if you have read this series, or you've read the light novel, I would appreciate a heads up, because I would like to get it, especially to support Sensei, because I have enjoyed her works. The Villainous one, I'm very excited that we got. It's completed 3 volumes. I think the Legendary Witch is ongoing. The Obsession of Red Riding Hood is complete at 2 volumes. That's a horror shoujosei series. And the Villainous one, I'm not even familiar with who this character is. I have no idea, but I checked out the preview and it was so much fun. I laughed even though I couldn't even read it. And I'm like, okay, I'm here, Titan. I'm like, I don't know why we're getting such a what feels like to me a very obscure series. Like, I don't know anybody who is familiar with this character or the other characters in the series, but I'm like, I will be there. I will be there seeing what happens and how things go down, because it just seems so much fun. But I will say, probably out of any indie publisher that I'm very or rising publisher that I'm very excited to see what they will give us is Kana. Kana really put themselves on the radar. I know that they are most known right now for like Billy Bat, Cat's Eye, I think it's Hunter City. I realize those are really big series, but when it comes to Shoujosei, they gave us 3. I feel like they were 3 great ones, including my #1 villainous license within the villainous, y'all. I'm overjoyed. I'm so excited. Yes, that was massive, y'all. That was massive. I could not believe it. I was very excited, so I will definitely be getting that one for sure, hands down. I don't have it pre-ordered, I think, just yet because it got pushed back. It was supposed to, I think, release in 2026, and they got pushed back to 2027. Also, My Dear, A Mystery for You, I think this is by the same creators Killing Line, I believe. I looked into this and it seemed very, very good. And then Twilight Metropolis, I'm a little bit sure if I'm going to get because I couldn't really tell. I know it's a supernatural story, but I couldn't tell if it was like horror, but the art was beautiful and I believe it's fully colored. And I'm just like, man, Kana is coming out and is hearing what people are asking for and saying, hey, we are going to capitalize on this and we're going to deliver the goods to you because we see you and we want you to be able to read this manga physically in English. And I'm like, yes. And even some of their shonen series, they have a certain cat manga. I think it's a seinen actually, but there's a cat manga by them that I'm really excited for as well. And I'm just like, man, thank you, Kana, for listening to the community, for the things they are giving us, especially within the villainous. Like, yes, I'm so excited. I just could not get over that at all. It was huge, y'all. It was huge. And I feel like that they are not the only like rising publisher that's really getting some very great shoujo because we have some additional licenses here. These were the ones I didn't have shown or included in the numbers chart that I had before, but I still want them to get some spotlight, some time and attention. So as you can see, the first one, Manga Mavericks Ball and Chain. I feel like this is a really big one. I'm not familiar with this series, but I do know that Starfruit Books had several of their one-shots, I believe, or really, really small series. I also think too that this was an award-winning series or it was nominated to become an award-winning series, but I know it was a very big deal when Manga Mavericks got it. With Kodama Tales, The Magical Forest, this one looks so ethereal. It's a josei manga. I'm not sure if it's ongoing or not, but I remember seeing several people very excited because they just felt that it was a series that we probably would not see much of it licensed physically. And I do just want to say, insert here real quick, I remember somebody saying on Twitter, now don't get me wrong, the big publishers, they are delivering, okay? However, one thing I remember somebody saying, they said that when it comes to the year of 2026, don't put all your eggs in a basket for these major publishers to publish the things that you're really wanting. You need to be having eyes and looking to the indie publishers because they're going to be the ones giving you the things that really want, which is, I feel, fully true. When we go to this next slide in a moment, yes, you're going to be like, I can't believe somebody did this. And it really feels like these smaller publishers are ones you don't want to have them go under the radar. You want to see what they are giving the community because they also are hearing the community and they're also giving series that are very unique and very interesting. I mean, Manga Mavericks has already said at Anime Expo, they are going to be announcing a shoujo classic manga. So again, don't, just because these smaller publishers only have one series license, that's Shoujosei, don't put them under the radar, y'all. I just want to insert that quick because I think about that all the time. Again, I don't remember who said it, but I'm just like, that person, they were right. They were right. For Glacier Bay Books, I was a little bit uncertain to put this manga on here. It is a standalone for Juji here because somebody said that, I think actually it was more than one person, but that it was licensed a few years ago and then there was just nothing that came about and nobody really knew what was happening. Now it's been confirmed it will be releasing this year. In fact, I just found this manga up for pre-order on Books A Million when I was getting the covers for these graphics. I'm like, this is the first time I've seen a Glacier Bay Books on Books A Million, so I added it to my pre-order list because I had already wanted to get it. Sounds very interesting. Same as this next one. Uncivilized is licensing, has licensed Fire. In fact, we've already had a pre-order that's been up. If you were in the first 50 people that pre-ordered it on their website, you got free shipping and I think you got the volume like 10% off or something like that. This is a series. It's a classic shoujo. They have compiled it into one volume and people never imagined that we would ever get it. I mean, I definitely never did. I was very, very, very surprised. And so that was a massive win. I believe this is under their imprint. I think it was like Monolith, I think is the name, but I just went with the main publisher's name because I wasn't 100% sure. I should have double checked that, so I do apologize. And then last but not least, Aloha Comics just licensed their very first manga, and a Josei manga at that, ever after it is completed 2 volumes. This is one of the very few exceptions that I actually ordered on the publisher's website so I could get some exclusive goodies and paid, I think it was like 10 bucks for shipping. But I was like, that's okay. That's okay. 10 out of 10 gonna be worth it. I know it. I know it. So it's very exciting to see these smaller publishers rising up and saying, hey, we hear again, just the needs of the community of wanting more shoujo. And I mean, truly, it's been an exciting start, y'all. It has been an exciting start of 2026. I can't believe how many wins I've gotten. I think I've gotten about 5 to 6 license wins just this year, with some of those titles being within the Villainous Yalvinous Class Diary. Like, yes, yes. And then I have 10 plus publishers who have all eyes, well, maybe not all eyes, but a bunch of eyes on Shoujosei licenses and titles and bringing them into the US. Like, truly, truly thank you, manga publishers, for every publisher who is releasing shoujo manga. I'm very, very thankful. It has been truly, it's been a great, great year. There's been so many political things happening and a lot of turmoil just when it comes to the general world view, we could say. And so being able to have a hobby that is bringing me joy and bringing these licenses that make my day has been truly a wonderful and very special blessing in my life. And I'm very, very thankful. And I'm curious, what is to come, y'all? What is to come? We have AX in 2 weeks. I will be talking about my top 5 most wanted licenses that I hope to see at AX in 2 weeks as well, because next Wednesday I will be going over the results of my re-review shoujo spree when it came to the voting. And I'm excited, y'all. I'm very, very excited. I know I did mention in this video here, I think it was my manga news video about 2 weeks ago, saying, hey, I found, to the best of my ability at that time, I found as many publishers put the dates down of like, hey, this is when they are doing their license announcements. There's so many. I think there was like 14 different panels that specifically mentioned they are having license announcements. So it's going to be very exciting. But y'all, there have been very big and massive wins. I think that's important to take that time, be like, you know what? Yes, it has been exciting. We got some really good stuff. Our wallets are hurting. They're crying, but it's totally worth it for all the amazing shoujosei that is coming in English, sometimes for the very first time. I would love to hear from you, friends. Have you gotten any license wins this year? What are some titles that you're like, oh, I didn't know that we were getting that, or just wanting to celebrate? Let me know. I will celebrate with you, friends. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!